Tiana, a bright-eyed 16-year-old girl, steps into the grand lobby of Hillstone Bank. The marble floors gleam under the soft yellow lights, and the scent of fresh coffee lingers in the air. She clutches a small envelope containing a check her mother gave her to deposit. It's a simple errand, but today, it will change everything. As she approaches the counter, a middle-aged bank teller named Mr. Caldwell eyes her skeptically. His neatly pressed suit and thin-rimmed glasses make him look professional, but the condescending smirk on his face says otherwise. "Can I help you?" he asks, voice laced with doubt. Tiana nods politely and hands him the check. "I'd like to deposit this into my mom's account." Mr. Caldwell barely glances at the check before his lips curl in disapproval. He taps the paper with his finger. "Where did you get this?" Tiana blinks. "My mom gave it to me." He exhales sharply, shaking his head. "Look, sweetie, we don't just take checks from anywhere. This is a lot of money." Tiana frowns, her grip tightening on the counter. "I know. It's my mom's." She owns. Mr. Caldwell raises a hand. "Let me stop you right there. We need verification. A girl like you doesn't just walk in with this kind of money." A few customers glance over, sensing the tension. Tiana's cheeks burn. She's never felt this kind of judgment before, like she's done something wrong just by existing. As her heartbeat quickens, she realizes something. This isn't just about money. It's about something much deeper. Tiana's fingers tremble as she pushes the check back toward Mr. Caldwell. "You can call my mom to verify." He scoffs. "Honey, I don't need to call anyone. I know when something looks suspicious." A few customers shift uncomfortably. A woman in a navy business suit glances at Tiana with pity, while a man in line frowns at the interaction. Tiana swallows hard. "I didn't do anything wrong." Mr. Caldwell folds his arms. "Maybe not, but fraud is serious business. You can't just show up with a check this size." Tiana's face heats up. The implication is clear. He doesn't believe her. He doesn't trust her. And why? Because she's a young black girl. Her voice wavers, but she refuses to back down. "I told you, it's my mom's. She's a CEO." A mocking chuckle escapes Mr. Caldwell. "Right. And I'm the president." He slides the check back toward her. "If your CEO mother wants to deposit this, she can come in herself." Tiana clenches her fists. "This isn't fair." The older man sighs dramatically. "Listen, sweetheart, it's not personal. But banks have policies. Maybe you don't understand how money works." A hush falls over the room. Someone mutters, "That's messed up." Tiana's heart pounds. She's never felt this small before, this powerless. But she won't let him win. With a deep breath, she pulls out her phone. "Fine. I'll call her." Mr. Caldwell smirks, confident she's bluffing. But as Tiana dials, a powerful voice echoes through the bank, "No need. I'm already here." Heads turn. Gasps ripple through the room. The sound of heels clicking against the polished marble floor silences the entire bank. All eyes shift toward the entrance as a tall, confident woman strides in, exuding authority. She's dressed in a tailored navy blue power suit, her posture impeccable, her expression unreadable. But her eyes, sharp, piercing, and full of quiet fury, lock onto Mr. Caldwell. Tiana breathes a sigh of relief. "Mom!" Mr. Caldwell's smirk falters. He quickly glances at the woman's designer handbag, the way the employees behind the counter stiffen in recognition. A nervous chuckle escapes him. "Mrs. Hawkins," he stammers. "What a surprise." "Mrs. Olivia Hawkins, CEO of a multi-million-dollar financial firm. A woman who commands boardrooms and negotiates high-stakes deals without breaking a sweat." She stops beside her daughter, placing a protective hand on her shoulder. "Imagine my surprise when my daughter called, nearly in tears, saying she was being denied service." Her voice is calm, but every syllable carries weight. Mr. Caldwell clears his throat. I was just following protocol, ma'am." Olivia tilts her head. Protocol? Is that what you call accusing my daughter of fraud? He opens his mouth, but no words come out. The tension in the air is thick. Employees glance at each other, knowing they're witnessing something explosive. The woman in the navy business suit whispers to her colleague, "That's Olivia Hawkins. This guy's in trouble." Tiana watches as her mother takes a slow, deliberate step forward. "Tell me something, Mr. Caldwell. If a young white girl had handed you that check, would you have reacted the same way?" Silence. Mark Caldwell's face turns red. His lips press into a thin line. Tiana crosses her arms, her confidence growing. She knows the answer, everyone does. Mr. Caldwell shifts uncomfortably, his fingers tapping against the counter. The entire bank has fallen silent, employees and customers alike watching the confrontation unfold. Olivia Hawkins stands tall, unwavering. Of course, I treat all customers fairly," Mr. Caldwell finally says, though his voice lacks conviction. Olivia's expression remains unreadable, but there's a sharpness in her gaze. "Really? Because from what I understand, my daughter was humiliated and treated like a criminal for simply trying to deposit a check." Tiana, standing beside her mother, watches as Mr. Caldwell glances toward his coworkers, searching for support. But no one comes to his aid. They all look away, pretending to be busy. "She didn't have proper identification," he mutters weakly. Olivia arches a brow. "She showed you her school ID. That's identification, is it not?" Mr. Caldwell stammers. "It's not standard for large transactions." "Oh." Olivia pulls out her phone. "That's interesting because your bank's policy states that for deposits, a school ID is acceptable for minors. Would you like me to pull up the policy and read it out loud?" A hushed murmur spreads across the room. A few customers shake their heads, whispering among themselves. Mr. Caldwell swallows hard. "It was just a misunderstanding." Olivia leans in slightly. "No, Mr. Caldwell. It was discrimination." The color drains from his face. The weight of the accusation, spoken so clearly, so definitively, hangs in the air like a storm cloud about to burst. Tiana watches, her heart pounding. This is what power looks like. Not just money, not just influence, but fearless truth in the face of injustice, and Mr. Caldwell is about to face the consequences. A tense silence grips the bank. Mr. Caldwell's face is pale, his hands twitching as if trying to grasp at an excuse. Olivia Hawkins waits, her presence commanding, her patience wearing thin. The bank manager, a middle-aged woman named Ms. Ramirez, finally steps forward. Her expression is a mix of concern and calculation. She knows who Olivia Hawkins is, everyone in the corporate world does. "Mrs. Hawkins," Ms. Ramirez says carefully, "I sincerely apologize for this unfortunate situation. I assure you, this is not how we conduct business." Olivia turns to her, her expression unreadable. "Then tell me, Ms. Ramirez, why did your employee feel comfortable enough to treat my daughter like a criminal?" Ms. Ramirez visibly flinches. The eyes of the entire room are on her now. Mr. Caldwell is shrinking into himself, realizing he is rapidly losing whatever ground he thought he had. "This was clearly an error in judgment," Ms. Ramirez says, her voice softer now, an attempt at damage control. "We take discrimination very seriously, and I assure you, there will be consequences." Olivia crosses her arms. "I don't want promises, Ms. Ramirez. I want action." The murmurs in the bank grow louder. Some customers pull out their phones, recording the scene. The story is spreading. Tiana watches in awe as her mother dismantles years of unchecked bias with a few well-placed words. Mr. Caldwell clears his throat, his voice shaking. I didn't mean," but Olivia doesn't even look at him anymore. "I want an official statement from this bank," she says to Ms. Ramirez, acknowledging what happened here today. Ms. Ramirez hesitates, but she knows there's no way out. The power dynamic has shifted. The bank is no longer just a financial institution, it's a stage, and the audience is growing. Customers whisper, cameras flash, and the weight of the moment is suffocating for Mr. Caldwell. He looks desperate, like a man drowning in his own mistakes. Ms. Ramirez exhales sharply, feeling the pressure. Mrs. Hawkins, please, let's handle this privately. Privately? Olivia repeats, raising an eyebrow. That's convenient. You humiliated my daughter in front of a full bank, but now that the tables have turned, you want privacy? A hush falls over the room. Ms. Ramirez's face reddens. Tiana, standing beside her mother, holds her head high. She's no longer the scared girl who was treated like a criminal. Now, she's the daughter of a powerful woman demanding justice. Mr. Caldwell, sweat beading on his forehead, tries one last time. Look, I didn't mean any harm. I was just following standard procedures. Olivia turns to him, her gaze piercing. Standard procedures? Tell me, do you interrogate every teenager who deposits money, or just the black ones? Mr. Caldwell stammers. He has no answer. Because they all know the truth, the customers begin murmuring louder, and a man near the back speaks up. She's right. I come in here all the time, and I've never seen anyone question like that. More voices chime in. The tide is fully against the bank now. Ms. Ramirez knows she must act before this turns into a full-blown PR disaster. Mr. Caldwell, she says firmly, turning toward him, I need you to step into my office. No. But Olivia isn't done. Not before he apologizes to my daughter. All eyes are on Mr. Caldwell. He looks trapped. Will he do the right thing? Mr. Caldwell clears his throat, shifting uncomfortably. The weight of the crowd stares makes his collar feel tighter. He looks at Tiana, but his pride is still in the way. I'm sorry if you felt disrespected, he mutters, his voice barely above a whisper. A sharp intake of breath ripples through the onlookers. Olivia's expression hardens. If, she repeats, her voice calm but laced with steel. You're apologizing for how she felt, not for what you did? Mr. Caldwell's mouth opens, then closes. He knows he's being cornered, but his ego refuses to fully surrender. Tiana finally speaks, her voice soft but firm. You didn't believe me. You looked at me and assumed I was a liar or a thief. Why? The question hangs in the air like a blade. Ms. Ramirez watches anxiously, realizing the situation is spiraling. Mr. Caldwell, she interjects quickly, perhaps you should take a moment and, no. Olivia steps forward. He doesn't need a moment. He needs accountability. Murmurs of agreement spread through the bank. Mr. Caldwell looks around, his confidence crumbling. He exhales sharply and finally meets Tiana's gaze. You're right, he admits, his voice hoarse. I judged you unfairly. I was wrong. Silence. Then, a few customers nod approvingly. But Olivia isn't satisfied. An apology is a start, she says. But what about change? How do I know the next black girl who walks in here won't be treated the same way? Ms. Ramirez stiffens. She hadn't thought that far ahead. Now, the bank isn't just facing a PR nightmare, it's facing a call for real change. A heavy silence lingers in the bank, the weight of Olivia's words pressing on everyone. The tension is no longer just about an apology, it's about accountability, about real change. Ms. Ramirez, the branch manager, swallows hard. She knows this situation has spiraled beyond damage control. The people watching aren't just expecting an apology, they're demanding a response. Ms. Taylor, she says carefully, addressing Olivia, I assure you, we take these matters very seriously. Discrimination is not tolerated at this bank. Olivia folds her arms. Then tell me, what policies do you have in place to prevent this? What training do your employees receive? Ms. Ramirez hesitates. Well, you don't, do you? Olivia cuts in. That's why it was so easy for him to assume my daughter didn't belong here. Mr. Caldwell shifts uncomfortably, feeling the burning stares from customers and coworkers alike. He realizes now that this isn't just about him, it's about a system that allows people like him to act on biases unchecked. A customer, an older black man in a suit, steps forward. She's right, he says. I've been banking here for years, and I've seen the looks your employees give people like me. It's subtle, but it's there. A murmur of agreement spreads through the crowd. Other customers nod, some even sharing their own experiences. Ms. Ramirez feels her grip on the situation slipping. This isn't just about one incident anymore, it's about the entire bank's reputation. Taking a deep breath, she straightens her shoulders. Ms. Taylor, she says, if you're willing, I'd like to set up a meeting with you to discuss how we can improve. We need to do better. Olivia studies her for a long moment before nodding. You do. And I'll make sure you follow through. The confrontation may be ending, but the real battle for change is just beginning. Within hours, the entire incident spreads like wildfire. A customer in the bank had been recording the confrontation, and the video is now circulating across social media. The caption reads, "Bank employee refuses to serve young black girl, her CEO mother's response is everything." Thousands of comments flood in. Some express outrage at the blatant discrimination. Others share similar experiences. People are calling for accountability, tagging the bank's official social media pages and demanding action. Meanwhile, Olivia sits in her office, watching the video on her phone. She knew this moment was powerful, but seeing it play out from an outside perspective makes it even more surreal. Her assistant, Jordan, bursts into the room. "Olivia, you're trending everywhere. News outlets are picking this up. They're asking for a statement." Olivia exhales. She expected attention, but not at this scale. At the same time, the bank's corporate headquarters is in full crisis mode. Their PR team scrambles to control the narrative. The regional director, Mr. Langston, dials Ms. Ramirez immediately. "I need everything you have on this incident," he demands. "We cannot afford a PR disaster." Ms. Ramirez is already sweating. "Sir, we're trying to reach Ms. Taylor to arrange a meeting. She wants to discuss policy changes." Mr. Langston sighs. "She's got leverage now. We can't ignore this." Back at home, Ava scrolls through the comments, eyes wide. "Mom," she whispers, "people are listening." Olivia places a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "This isn't just about us anymore. It's about making sure no one else goes through this." The battle has gone beyond a single bank branch, it's now a movement. The bank's corporate office is in full damage control mode. Executives scramble to contain the backlash as major news networks pick up the story. Customers threaten to close their accounts, and social media is flooded with the trending hashtag #JusticeForAva. In a high-rise conference room, Mr. Langston, the regional director, sits at the head of a long table, staring at a screen displaying plummeting stock prices. "We need to fix this now." One of his PR advisors speaks up, "We need a public apology and a diversity initiative. We can't afford to lose public trust." Ms. Ramirez, who was responsible for the branch where the incident occurred, is sweating. "I've been trying to reach Ms. Taylor for a meeting. She hasn't responded." "She doesn't need to," Mr. Langston replies grimly. "She has all the power now." Meanwhile, Olivia's phone rings non-stop. Reporters, activists, even high-profile figures want to talk. Jordan, her assistant, watches in awe. "Olivia, the mayor's office just called. They want to discuss policy changes for racial discrimination in financial institutions." Olivia nods. It's time to push for real change. At that moment, an email arrives from the bank's headquarters. It's an official request for a meeting with the CEO. Olivia smiles. Now they want to talk. She turns to Ava. "Sweetheart, this isn't just about us anymore. This is about making things right for everyone." Ava grins. "Then let's make them listen." The fight isn't over, but now, the world is watching. Olivia arrives at the bank's headquarters, a towering glass structure in the heart of the city. She walks in confidently, dressed in a power suit, with Ava by her side. Cameras flash as reporters swarm the entrance, shouting questions. Olivia ignores them. Today is about action. Inside, a team of executives, including Mr. Langston, wait in a sleek conference room. Their faces are tense. The CEO, a middle-aged man with silver hair, stands as Olivia enters. "Miss Taylor, thank you for coming." Olivia takes a seat, folding her hands on the table. "I'm not here for apologies. I'm here for solutions." Mr. Langston clears his throat. "We deeply regret what happened to your daughter, and we're prepared to make things right. We want to launch a new diversity initiative and retrain our staff." Olivia cuts him off. "That's not enough. This isn't just about one employee. This is systemic." The CEO sighs. "What do you want, Ms. Taylor?" Olivia slides a document across the table. "A complete overhaul of your policies, real accountability for discrimination, and a fund to support underprivileged communities with financial education." The room falls silent. The executives exchange nervous glances. "This is a major commitment," the CEO says. "It's the cost of doing business with integrity," Olivia replies. Ava looks around the table, then speaks up. "You're all scared because you know you're wrong. You wouldn't treat me like this if I looked different." The CEO leans back, studying Olivia and her daughter. Then, slowly, he nods. "We'll need time to implement this, but we'll do it." Ava's eyes widen. Olivia gives her a knowing smile. Change is happening. A week later, the bank holds a press conference. The CEO stands at the podium, cameras flashing as journalists take notes. Olivia and Ava sit in the front row, watching as he clears his throat. "Today, we take responsibility," he begins. "What happened to Miss Ava Taylor was unacceptable. And it exposed a much bigger problem in our system. Effective immediately, we are launching a complete overhaul of our policies to ensure no customer is ever treated unfairly again." The crowd murmurs. Olivia watches with a keen eye. The CEO continues, "We are also committing $50 million to a new financial education and empowerment fund dedicated to underserved communities." Ava squeezes her mother's hand. She can't believe this is happening. After the conference, reporters swarm Olivia. "How do you feel about this decision?" one asks. Olivia looks at her daughter, then back at the cameras. "This isn't just about one victory. It's about change. No child should ever feel less than because of how they look. And today, we took a step forward." The video of the press conference goes viral. Social media explodes with support. The bank's actions spark a national conversation about discrimination in financial institutions. Days later, Olivia and Ava visit the bank again, this time for a meeting with young students benefiting from the new fund. Ava stands before them, sharing her story, inspiring them to believe in their worth. As they leave, Ava looks up at her mother. "We really made a difference, didn't we?" Olivia smiles. "Yes, baby. And this is just the beginning." Discrimination has no place in our society. Every person deserves to be treated with respect, no matter who they are. If you believe in equality and justice, share this story to spread awareness. Let's stand together against discrimination and make sure no one else has to experience what Ava did. Have you ever faced an unfair situation like this? Tell us your story in the comments. We want to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful stories that inspire change.